Good morning, this is Miri, and I wanted to make a short video for you to talk a little bit about what just happened to me over the past 10 days. I ended up canceling the workshop on the fifth dimensional chakras, and what a surprise for me. When that information first started to come together, there was so much passion and so much enthusiasm, and the focus was there, and it was like, where are you putting your focus? Where are you putting your energy? You're still thinking you need to fix and change, and your soul is coming into your body and beautiful things are happening. Come and pay attention to this instead. And then I had a rude awakening, not a rude awakening, but I had an abrupt stop. Over Memorial Day weekend, I got triggered. Excuse me. Not so easy to share, but I will. I got triggered by somebody very close to me who did something that made me feel angry, embarrassed, ashamed, all of that. And it happened pretty quickly. And there's a dragonfly right here. How beautiful. It happened pretty quickly. And then I sat with it. And I ruminated about it. And I did what I have done in the past. I think that it's the most difficult to be honest and vulnerable with those who are closest to us. Somebody that doesn't matter so much, we get to practice how to be authentic to ourselves. But those were my feelings, and they didn't want to go away. And what I did that I have had a habit of doing was I tried to talk myself out of how I was feeling. I did something called a spiritual bypass. This is not, I put my hand on my heart, my focus on my heart. This is for me. I am not a victim. But I couldn't get rid of the feelings, no matter how I tried to disconnect with them, and the experience that I had, and how it just was a loop in my mind over and over, the experience, the feeling, and what to do. And finally, after about 24 hours of mind the committee, that committee, I was given the recognition that I really needed to accept my feelings, that they too are sacred, and I needed to talk about them and my experience with this beloved of my heart, family member. And I waited because there was a lot of activity that Memorial Day weekend, and I asked for a conversation, and I did the quote unquote, I owned my feelings, I owned the experience, I shared what happened, and I said, what really made me feel, what you did made me feel angry, embarrassed, disappointed, and whatever else came up. And the other person just looked at me right in the eye, and very present, and he said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that. And I said, okay. And I could feel the sincerity of the apology, and there was no defensiveness on his side, there was nothing else on my side, and we hugged, and that was that. I thought that was that. I turned towards my feelings, I embraced them, I shared them. But there was something still, and there is something about confession is good for the soul, confession is good for the ego. Confession is good for integration. So I hope that you have somebody like I do in your life that you can go to that doesn't have any judgment for what you share, and just hold sacred space. And for some reason, I needed to just continue to blab about the experience, and how I felt, and why did he do that? Why did he act that way? What do you, I asked, what do you think? But I really wasn't looking for an answer. And then after sharing, and she held space, I was about 85% there, but there was still some rub. And then I happened to be meeting with another friend, and I shared it again. and then I was empty. We all have emotion, and then let me finish this part. Then I was empty, and then the next day or that evening, I went out for a walk. And I think it was probably the next day, and I truly felt an embodied understanding, not a mental, oh, everything is for me, this is not happening to me, it's happening for me, but I really felt the love, and I really felt the honoring of this beloved spirit who would show up like what I would consider to be such a jerk, and give me the opportunity to heal my heart, to remove what was laying over my heart, so that I could feel more present in my heart, in my body. I'm sharing this because I feel like instead of jumping to the 15 chakras right now, the fifth dimensional chakras, what I really want to offer you is support for your mastery. And perhaps for many of us, the next step is, how do I turn towards those parts of myself that I have still felt are like, oh, I'm beyond that. Oh, I can't deal with that. Oh, that shouldn't be me now. I've done so much work. This shouldn't be showing up in my life now. How to be the master in your body, because so much of the soul has come into the body already, how to release what is in the way, and it's emotional stuff, by being present towards it. My tagline had been for a while, self-acceptance is the master key. It's not love, it's not self-love, because I couldn't do that. But how to return towards those parts of ourselves, those emotions, those triggers, those reactions that are part of our human experience, that we really think we can bypass. Everything, beloved, needs to be integrated. Everything. And some of it gets integrated by grace. But some of it, like this for me, was like, time for this. Don't go off teaching about the fifth dimensional chakras, because there is other work really that's more pressing now. And that is how to turn towards yourself, and ultimately, through the magic, through the grace, your heart will open to all of you. And as your heart opens to all of you, and there is nothing outside of you anymore that you cannot turn towards, then there is nothing in another that will trigger you. There's no magnetics, there's no hooks. So it's all internal processing. If I can support you in any way, please reach out, or find somebody that you work with that can hold the space for you to be authentic integration. Wishing you an amazing day.